we're officially starting. This is Dragon Quest Boppy Podcast, episode 14. As you can tell, we've got some guests on the show today. Gentlemen, will you please introduce yourselves?
I'll go first. I am Spencer from RPG Archive.
Respect.
We're a podcast where we play a bunch of RPGs and then talk about them at length. Some of them are Dragon Quest, some of them are not. But we try our best. We're up to 7. We're about to start 7, so that'll be fun. And I'm also on a pod. Okay.
My bad. Sorry. Do you guys do like a specific game? You focus on a specific game every month, and it's not necessarily Dragon Quest, but like whatever you guys kind of come up with that you're playing. That's kind of what the vibe I'm getting. Is that kind of what you guys do?
It's not every month per se. Sometimes it's quicker than a month. Sometimes it's longer than a month, obviously, depending on how long the game is. Yeah, pretty much that. I require my guests, whoever it will be, to finish the game. So we just both finish it and then talk about it for like 2 hours till our eyes bleed. And then I chop it up into smaller pieces for the plebs to swallow.
Of course. Got to make some content for the plebs. All right, sorry for interrupting you, bro. Go ahead, continue.
Well, and I was going to segue. I had a really good segue plan, but you kind of ruined it.
Oh, my bad, bro. My bad.
I'll try.
Do it anyways.
I'll do it anyway. We'll do it live. Okay, my segue is I also do a podcast with the other gentleman on the podcast. Go ahead.
Wow.
Yeah. It's time for me to jump in.
There you go.
Hello, questers around the world. Because we know Dragon Quest is a international phenomenon. My name is Teddy Kong, aka Majora T. And I got a YouTube channel. That's how I started. I made it 10 years ago. Started uploading content, maybe 9. And I co-founded the Button Mappers with Spencer here and Alex. Well, actually, Spencer kind of came a little later, but it was me and Alex. And then Spencer birthed his channel, RPG Archive. And we started that together with the first Dragon Quest. It was kind of a long-term goal of mine to play more mainline Dragon Quest games. Up to that point, I had a lot of nostalgia. I grew up playing Dragon Warrior Monsters on the Game Boy Color, as well as Dragon Warrior 3. Those were my entry points. And coincidentally, we'll be talking about some entry points today.
Man, you guys are the master of segues. Perfect. Okay, so you guys did a great job with introducing each other or yourselves. But first things first, what's your favorite Dragon Quest game?
That is a tough one. I think I would have to say Dragon Quest 8. Dragon Quest 11. There was probably like a year, maybe half a year, where I was like, Dragon Quest 11 is probably the best Dragon Quest ever. And then I replayed it, and the S edition specifically, and replayed the middle section of that game, and realized just how bad it drags. I think Dragon Quest 8 is like the perfect one because it's everything I like about Dragon Quest, but it's condensed in like. I hesitate to say smaller package, but it is a smaller package. It's like 40, 50 hours or something. Whereas Dragon Quest 11 is a lot of things I like, but it's really like there are parts of it you could literally just pull out. The rest of the series is really good. I think 6 is underrated, but it's definitely not my favorite. 3 is really good. I'm really excited for the 2D HD remaster. But 8 is, to me, the quintessential Dragon Quest. It's my first Dragon Quest too.
Oh, wow. Well, that helps. There you go. Mr. Teddy, what was it? Teddy Kongs?
Yeah, Kong, like the donkey.
Respect. Like the donkey. There you go. Favorite Dragon Quest game?
A little disclaimer. The only mainline games I haven't beat, but I have put a decent chunk of time into, are some of the most renowned. That's 8 and 11. I'm working my way up. So with that being said, I do have a lot of stock in the series. So I really like Fortune Street. No, that's a joke. I like 7.
There you go. There you go.
Dragon Quest 7 remake. I'm a little intimidated about playing that PS1 version, but I think I could do it. You know what it is? I mean, we're fresh off of the first 6 for the past like 2-3 years or so. But I had played 7 with Spencer almost 6 years ago when it came out on 3DS. Actually, speaking of stock, I took a lot of stock in those 3DS games coming out overseas. Originally, they were like, I remember there being trailers. There are so many Dragon Quest games on 3DS that we never got, and it just seemed like we were never gonna get. And so there's a big clamor online. There were petitions going to get Dragon Quest 7 and 8 localized. I started a petition for Dragon Quest Monsters Terry's Wonderland on change.org. They got like 500 signatures. Nothing ever came of it. But I was so thrilled when eventually we got the news that 7 was getting localized. So to me, it's my favorite, but it also has like a special place in my heart.
Right.
Because like I cared so much about it at that time.
Cool. So are you saying that's your favorite then, basically?
Yeah, it's weird because nostalgia plays a big factor. And we're gonna see if that nostalgia lives up, with our next archive.
Right.
But I think it's safe to say that I just appreciate what they were able to do with that game. Now, I did put a good 30 hours into 8, and I do respect and appreciate the narrative and the characters and the mechanics. And it has potential to dethrone 7. But there is something about the storytelling style of 7 that I really like. It's been 6 years, though, so my memory's a little foggy.
No worries. I actually, with 7, I like it a lot more than the community seems to like it as well. The biggest thing for me about 7 and 6 that I really, really enjoyed is the vocation system, and especially grinding the vocation system. It was so addicting that basically the story, even if it was bad or good, like I didn't even notice it. I was just pumping through that, grind for getting better vocations, keep on progressing that way. And so that's honestly, those games made it way higher on the list compared to what they're usually placed in the community for those reasons. So that's cool, bro. It sounds like you guys are pretty old fans, though. How long have you been playing Dragon Quest games, or been, I guess, when was your first entry point in terms of when you first started, playing a Dragon Quest game?
Well, I have to apologize because I lied to you when I was talking. Yeah. I really...
Disrespect.
40 lashes. I apologize.
Okay.
I did say that Dragon Quest 8 was my first Dragon Quest. That was a lie.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Can't have that.
Guys.
Can't have that.
I done goofed. My bad. It was the first Dragon Quest that I played any noticeable amount of time. But actually, my first Dragon Quest was Dragon Quest 1, but on the Game Boy, because we got. Damn. I'm a twin, and we were very poor, as twins are often, because their parents can't afford to keep them. And so we shelled all of our money together and got a Game Boy and Pokemon Red or Blue. I think it was Blue, the first one we got. And we were so excited, and we played the hell out of it. And then we were looking for something else to play. My brother got the 2-pack of Dragon Warrior. He said that these are RPGs, apparently. We'd never heard of the concept. We didn't even understand what an RPG was. And then I tried to play Dragon Quest.
Didn't even care.
No. I mean, apparently Pokemon was an RPG, so we'd do anything that was like that. I'm
curious how you guys shared one Game Boy Color. How was that?
It was a Game Boy Pocket, and we didn't. I mean, we learned how to share, I guess, but eventually we got one of those adapters for it. So we were literally huddled against the wall, like heroin addicts, just like getting our fix. It was very bad. Good times,
bro.
But I tried to play Dragon Quest 1. I had no idea what the hell that game was.
So, geez.
So
yeah.
Yeah, it was a complete disaster. So when my friend told me about Dragon Quest VIII, I was like, that's really where I entered. So to answer your question, it was really about 2000. Whenever Dragon Quest VIII came out, like 2004 or something like that, 2000 something somewhere in that time range.
Good.
It was like one of the
Good
early
question.
Square Enix games. Like I think they had just merged, and it was like
Yeah.
I think Kingdom Hearts may have been first. I don't remember, but anyway, it was one of the early ones, and so my friend told me you should play Dragon Quest VIII. It's probably great, and I was like, I've played Dragon Quest, and it was terrible. And then I pretty much blew him off until I played Dragon Quest VIII because it came packaged with the Final Fantasy 12 demo. And
oh, that's right. Yeah, and you were right. 2004, by the way.
wow,
Respect.
Play the lotto.
but Dragon Quest, I got it just for the demo, but Dragon Quest VIII was way better than Final Fantasy 12 by like leaps and bounds. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Dude, that's what's up. So that's kind of how I am as well, by the way, because officially I got into Dragon Quest the series about 5 years ago or so, and I dived right into the series head first, and I'm crazy fan about it. But my first game was like 12 years ago, but like I didn't even like it. It was Dragon Quest 6, and I didn't even like it. I didn't like the first person combat. I didn't like a lot of stuff about it, so I was just kind of like, this, move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until, again, like 5 years ago when I really was like, oh, wow, this is the best. So, yeah, that's okay, bro.
What made you start with 6? Do you remember your mindset?
Basically, at the time, I think all of us at some point were like super huge Pokemon fans. But I was kind of looking for a different kind of RPG. I really liked swords and dragons and knights and stuff like that. And I was kind of looking for a new RPG. So I went to GameStop and I noticed Dragon Quest 6 on the shelf, and I was like, hey, what the heck? That kind of looks like Dragon Ball. Interesting. So that's kind of how it got, I bought it because it also had the monster recruiting system, Eventually I just got bored of it because, first of all, I never recruited a monster. And again, second of all, it's just the whole first person thing. I just didn't like that much at that time. And so I was like completely turned off by it. But that's kind of how I found it accidentally, I guess you could say. So anyway.
And when you say the first person thing, you're talking about in combat.
Correct.
Got you.
Yep.
And were you playing SNES or DS?
Oh no, DS.
DS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to play SNES someday, though.
I think a lot of people get turned off by the first person combat in those remakes. I say the remakes because those are like more recent ones that people might have touched.
Right.
But I think a lot of people get turned off, and just because it is a very old school style, like they're expecting to see the characters on screen now, and they don't want to use their imagination as much. So that makes sense. I get it why they wouldn't, why that's a turnoff to them.
Yeah.
It's not for me. I feel like when I have that vantage, like I'm on the other side. I am the party.
True. That's kind of where my head is now in terms of first person, combat. I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of imagining the whole, process of the battle, which is kind of, puts me more invested into it, which is really fun. But yeah, bro. Yeah.
I don't know, because I kind of like seeing Jessica and Jade in combat.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, they're great to look at. So
if I could have only seen Maya and Mina go at it,
Hey, maybe someday, man. Maybe we'll get a remake someday. Who knows?
Ooh, 4? That would be fantastic.
That would be sick, bro. Let's at least get the 2D HD remake first before anything else, before we start going crazy with wants and desires. We'll see what Yuji Horí's got planned for us, or Square Enix, whoever's holding those games hostage right now. But yeah.
Teddy,
how far back do you go on Dragon Quest?
Well, speaking of Dragon Quest 4, you lied because you lied with a lie.
Uh-oh.
The Game Boy ones are, Spencer, So he's double lied, or he actually didn't lie the first time, but then he replaced it with a lie because the ones on Game Boy were not Dragon Quest.
Oh yeah,
Dragon Warrior.
They were Dragon Warrior.
Got him,
dude. I am so sorry, Poppy. I've lied to you twice now, and I won't do it a third time. I don't want that.
Oh man,
I don't want to get slapped.
Oh, jeez, man. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad.
Oh man,
hey, why are they call you Teddy?
That's my name.
What was your name again?
Teddy.
That's it. Didn't you say something else in the beginning?
Teddy Kong.
Oh, Teddy. You did say Teddy Kong. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
My mind just totally went in a different direction. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. There we go.
But
that's why I'm called Teddy. It's my name.
But yeah, Teddy.
Teddy.
How early did you start?
Theodore. I will. Okay, so excluding the Game Boy ones, which I played when I was young, which I enjoyed, but I never finished them. I will say the first one that I actually cared enough to really go at was Dragon Quest IV on the DS. So I was in my last years of college in Hawaii, and I was getting back into games. I only brought my DS with me, and all I was playing was Mario Kart, and I was in one class, and I was like, it's time for me to start playing games again. So somebody in the barracks of I can't remember what the name of it was. It's by Wahiwa or something. Schofield or something. I don't know. Maybe that's something else. But they were selling games on Craigslist for the DS for $10 a pop. It was the Mario Inside Bowser, the Zelda Phantom Hourglass, and Dragon Quest IV. And I was I took a bus trip out there because I didn't have a car. And I went on a whole adventure to get these 3 DS games. And while I put down Phantom Hourglass because I didn't like the stylus Zelda, and I played a little bit of Bowser's Inside Story, but I was always comparing it to the Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. I really liked Dragon Quest IV. I was enchanted, the music and the chapters, Ragnar's heel slime, and even Alina, Serevna. You're going for Mina Maya, but I'm an Alina fan, baby. I didn't finish it at the time because it was so foreign to me. I mean, I had played the Pokemons, like you were saying, and there may have been other RPGs I had finished up to that time that aren't coming to memory, but I didn't know what I was doing. I think there's one point, there's a sequence thing where you're supposed to talk to somebody before you go in the fairy tower, and if you don't, there's nobody up there. So it wasn't clear to me. I think you have to go into the bazaar town at midnight and talk to somebody. Well, I figured it out later. And it was the first Dragon Quest game I beat. And I was it was the first real RPG I felt like I had beaten to that point. And I celebrated it, and it got me really into the series. I had the throwback to, I like the slimes, I like the Dragon Warrior monsters. I had beaten that, but that's spin-off territory. So my first real Dragon Quest game is Dragon Quest IV.
Respect. So Dragon Quest IV and you said Dragon Warrior 1, Spencer?
Yeah.
Don't lie.
Sort of, maybe.
Was it Dragon Quest 1, Dragon Warrior 1? It's
some with dragons.
It's neither here nor there. It had dragons in it, and I was a warrior, and it was a quest. It was a great time.
Dragon's Dogma.
Dragon's Dogma.
Ooh, that's a great game, by the way. When is Dragon Dogma 2 coming out, damn it?
Right after the 2D HD remake.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, so you guys have both played 5. Which is the bride of your choosing? This is the last question, by the way, to get to know you.
Okay.
I picked Nira. That's her name, right? The blue-haired one. Yeah,
that's Nira.
The first time I played, I picked the blonde one. What was her name?
Bianca.
Yeah. The problem with her is, and on my second playthrough, is I realized that they were like trying to guilt me into picking her, and I do not get guilted into choosing women. I pick the one I want and I go for it. Technically, Deborah, I think, is supposed to be like the hot one, but she's not. She looks a little wanky. So I went with Nira. I think she's the most beautiful one of the three. And yeah, I think that's the one that I think you should go with.
There you go. What about you, Teddy? Theodore?
I also go Nira. The first time I played, I picked Bianca because that's it seems like the right thing to do. But then I was like, you know what? I don't want a game telling me what to do. I want a woman with blue hair. So I'm going Nira. Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
there was some other reason that I think I was kind of swayed that way because she's portrayed as I think Bianca's too humble of origins, whereas Nara's more. It's not the money; it's just the how well you take care of yourself.
You don't like poor. You don't like poor people.
It's about respect.
Dirty, smell bad, live outside, don't want to deal with it.
Hygiene,
right.
Class,
skincare.
Right. Lotion.
Hair.
Use lotion. Yep.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. That's all I ask.
Brush your teeth.
There's a moral of the story. Yeah.
There you
Big
go.
smelly or smell good? What do you choose?
Yeah. Nira looks like she smells really good. Poppy, who did you pick?
Actually, we're all on the same team here. So Nira.
Team money.
There you go. There you go. Got to marry into money. No, but I just love that she just is totally all about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no sass. It's just 100% she wants you. And that's it.
Right.
That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was easy for me. It was easy for me. So, yeah.
Do you feel Bianca doesn't feel that way?
I mean, yes, but I like a woman and their honesty. You know what I'm saying? I don't like them playing these games with me because I'm not about that. So, yeah, straight to the point. So yeah, there you go. We're all Nira. Okay.
We learned something today.
Yeah.
We all have similar tastes in women.
Blue hair.
Yep. We like our women that, bathe and take care of themselves.
Have money.
Okay. So guys, I think this was a fantastic opening and introduction as to who you guys are. We'll give you another plug at the end of the episode. But let's get into the main topic. So, which is the best Dragon Quest game to get into the series? Now, for me personally, I'll just kind of start off real quick. I kind of feel like it depends on the person and kind of like their interests, I guess you could say, because not everyone likes turn-based RPGs, or maybe that style of game. But if they're interested in the series even a little bit, what game do you guys feel is like the perfect entry point? So, yeah, there's the question.
It's a hell of a question.
Yeah. That's tough because there's a lot of factors you got to keep in mind. So one of those factors, unfortunately, is more with Dragon Quest than Final Fantasy, is how do you play it? Because 4, 5, and 6, the newest ones are on the DS. The console's dead. 3DS is dead now. So if you wanted it like on a new console on the Switch, you literally can't play it. You can play it on your Android phone, although I find that a lot of gamers that like RPGs tend not to like to play on their phones. I'm not one of them. I loved all of them on the phone. I played all of them there.
Right.
But in general, I just noticed that that's a thing. So that's a kind of a hard sell for some people. 8, I
Is
would.
it not on iPhone? I didn't know. Is it only Android or?
Or sorry, I always call it Android, but it's because I have
Oh,
Android, but
okay.
it's mobile, the mobile ones.
Gotcha.
iPhone people, they discuss me like Bianca pickers. But
yeah. Yep.
I would almost say 8 is the perfect one, but that's on the 3DS or the PS2, which are both dead consoles. So it's a little tough. It's also on mobile as well. But again, it's a similar problem of it's hard sell for some people. 11 is probably when you start thinking about it the most accessible, but it's also freaking long. Like, it is a long game, and it's kind of a lot to ask for if you don't know if they're gonna like it or not. To be like, by the way, it's gonna take you like 100 hours to beat this game.
Have you by chance seen the video of Donkey? I'm sure you've heard of video game Donkey.
Yeah.
Where he reviews 11.
No.
Oh, really?
Oh
man, well, basically he just plays up to the end of Act 1 and that's it. But he loved the game, but that's kind of like where he stopped, and he's like, "That's all. I was done with it," which I think is fine. I think it's fair. I mean, obviously you're missing a huge chunk of the story, but just to dip your toes into the series, I think that's a good kind of mindset just to get through the first 33% of the game or whatever.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. But that tells me that if you didn't complete it, that you weren't really interested.
True.
So I almost want to say Heroes, like Heroes 2, because like anybody can like a hack and slash game. Like, it's like
true.
But so if you like a hack and slash game, do you also like the characters that are popping into your world? And which ones do you like? And then you can maybe go from there. I don't know. That's a tough question. I'll have to think more about it, but I'll pass it over to you guys.
Actually, just off of that, what you were saying about Heroes. So when I truly got into the series about 5 years ago, it was because of Heroes. So I started playing Dragon Quest Heroes 1. It was on sale. It was like $10. And I was like, why not? I love these kind of games. This looks cool. Tried it. And like you said, every character that was introduced, I was like, oh, wow, who's this? Like I was interested in them. I wanted to find out more about them. And that's kind of what made me start officially into the series. And so there you go.
What's crazy is Teddy and I met. Well, I think we knew each other a little bit, but we started really talking over Heroes. I was streaming the first one, and then he jumped on my stream, and I was like, I didn't know people that like Dragon Quest, so he was the first person I ever met that actually liked Dragon Quest. And we were like, he understood slimes and stuff, and I was just elated, and we just really hit it off, and we became friends because of that.
That's adorable. Well, that's kind of what you did with me. You jumped onto my stream, and I was like, "Oh, what's up?" And we started talking.
Dragon Quest Heroes connects all people.
It does. It does.
That's where I met my wife. So.
Really?
No. That's ridiculous.
That would be cool, though.
He was a slime.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Mr. Theodore.
Mr. T. I think for me, when I think about why am I recommending a newcomer to Dragon Quest, it's so they can get the Dragon Quest experience in as accessible a way as possible. That I don't necessarily mean the hardware. I think I personally would take hardware out of that equation. We've talked about this before, and we both kind of said 11, but I think my answer is fluid. It changes over time. And I think the problem with 11, I don't want to call it a problem. It's not a problem. It's just that I think what would be a turnoff for a lot of people is the 100+ hour experience.
Right.
And also, I don't know yet that 100-hour experience is better than a lot of the other ones that I've played. So I'm not definite on my answer until I finish 8 and 11. But I think what it comes down to are two things: is one, is the Dragon Quest experience well represented in this game? And then two, does it have the amenities for a modern standard casual person to enjoy it. And I think if I'm thinking of amenities, it's like really you need good graphics, and I think voice acting is kind of a non-negotiable. I think seeing the enemies on screen. So really that leaves 8 and 11. And then if we're thinking about what is like the more impactful Dragon Quest experience, because to me that's what it's all about, is the narrative. Every Dragon Quest game means something different. So like, for 1 through 3, they're a little bit more about just kind of grinding and exploring and working your way through some hellish boss battles. But once you go Zenithia on, it really becomes these kind of like powerful fables. Even in 3, that kind of really starts to cement itself.
Yeah, good observation.
I think for a newcomer, it's got to be 8. It's kind of like a classic tragedy tale. It's almost 5, but I think that the retro SNES style graphics are maybe a turnoff for most, not most, but a lot of people.
Right. Okay. So I really like 8, but the only problem with 8, and I might get crap for this, so sorry about this.
Put in the comments.
Let me know. Okay. I personally believe that the story's pacing suffers a little bit. So in my opinion, I think 11 is the better game overall. In terms of just basically everything. I mean, it's a more updated game. It's more accessible as well. I do understand it's a very long game. But either way, I mean, if you have access to a 3DS or a PS2, 8 is definitely a great choice. I mean, it's on Android as well, or iPhone, whatever you want to call it. Supposedly it's like the beta version of the 3DS version, from what I talked to somebody about a while ago. But yeah, I mean, definitely. I think there's no wrong answer here. I think at the end of the day, it kind of depends on what your interests are, because then there's like the Minecraft kids and builders, right? I feel like builders is probably. Oh shoot! I gotta plug in my laptop. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry.
I just did this exact thing this morning, or like a couple hours ago.
Hey. Give me a second. You guys keep talking.
We're gonna talk about wrong answers.
Yeah, let's hit up some wrong answers real quick, because he said there are none. I can think of how many Dragon Quests are there? I can think of a good couple of wrong answers. I'll start, Teddy. I'm not going to go the obvious route, because there's a very obvious one. I'm going to say the wrong answer is Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime. As much as I love that game. I love that game. I think it's great. Why would you start somebody off with that? There's so many references they will not understand.
It's the puns. People will love the puns. That's not a wrong. Well, okay, it's not a great answer, but it's not a wrong answer.
I think it's a wrong answer.
Okay, I guess I have to accept the challenge of a non-obvious answer, right?
Yeah.
So probably Monsters Joker.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think that's a great starting off point. The main protagonist seems like he has personality with his whole edgelord haircut, and I don't know, but then it kind of amounts to not much. It has its cool aspects, but I wouldn't start Joker.
Right.
We were discussing what is a wrong answer to this question.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, if we're gonna be so picky here,
yeah.
Okay, sure, I get it. I'll retract my statement. But
you don't have to.
What I meant to say was basically, it really depends on the person's interests. I feel like, right? Like, are they a heavy RPG lover, or are they more of like a casual, like fan, sort of, but they're interested in the series. Like Spencer said, I think Heroes is a great entry point in that case. But
you're not recommending it to like a specific target. It's just to anybody, right? It's like a standard Sally on the street. You don't know what she likes.
Right.
So you have to kind of take an educated guess here. That's the tricky part of this question.
Right. That's a good point. But like for example, well, in that case, this is the end of the conversation right here. It's Dragon Quest 11. You know why?
Okay.
Switch.
Because it's got a free demo, and it's everywhere.
Oh
Okay,
shit, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Bam.
Yeah,
Teddy,
and the demo is good. I finished the demo. I did the 10 hours or so.
Teddy, can we confirm what the most obvious wrong answer is?
On 3, hold up the number.
Okay.
You can join in, Poppy.
Oh, okay.
On 3,
we're gonna say what the wrong Dragon Quest, the most obvious wrong Dragon Quest is, with the number of fingers on our hand. On the count of 3.
All
Ready?
right.
3, 2, 1.
We all got it. That's the worst one. It's the worst one, and it's almost like
we all win.
You can't. It'd be like telling somebody to step like in the middle of the story and in the worst part of the story.
Poor Dragon Quest 2, man.
I don't hate it either. It's not a bad game.
Same. I don't hate it. I enjoy it, but I definitely understand that point of view. For an entry point, it's definitely not the game. When I first got into the series, the route I took for the official mainline games was actually playing, well, I guess technically 6 was, like 12 years ago. But when I first got actually into it, I started with 1. I went 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Then I skipped to like 8, but I started with the first one because I do usually like to play games in order. But you don't have to do that with Dragon Quest games, so.
Do you feel like you should play 1 through 3 in order if you're just going to do it? If you're going to play them all?
I think to get the most out of that experience and really fall in love with like the experience as a whole, yes. I think that would make the most sense for sure.
Now, not a trick question.
Uh-oh.
Do you recommend that for 4, 5, and 6?
No, I do not.
Wow.
No, I do not. I think that 5 is probably the best starting point out of those 3. Although 4 is a really good choice as well, but 6 is definitely not.
No.
I love 6. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, you could start with 5 or 6. Or sorry, 4 or 5, my bad.
Yeah.
With the Zenithians. But anyway.
I honestly think 4 is better as a starting point than 5. Because 5 is, to me, 4 is like a platter of really good food. And you can
the tasting menu.
Yeah, you get to like sample it and taste it, and hey, maybe you don't keep going, but you played a little bit of it and say, hey, maybe that's not for me, or maybe it is. So maybe that would be a better starting point. Whereas Dragon Quest V is like a very a refined palate, like a fine wine, and you get like a pairing steak with it. It's very good.
6?
Not 6.
The mystery item.
The platter, it comes covered up and you don't know what it is.
Yes.
It's the soup of the day.
Yeah.
Subway sandwich of the day.
Yeah. But 5 is really good, but I don't know if I would say as a starting point.
I really like
the Subway.
Oh my gosh. I really like the analogy with the platter for 4 because I think that makes a lot of sense. And then 5 as well, At that point, I guess it just comes up. It really just depends on what you want to experience as a meal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I only eat McDonald's.
Respect. So 6 it is for you.
6 it is. We drive
Have you
through,
tried
baby.
The McBitchin'?
The what?
The McBitchin'?
No.
You don't know what the McBitchin' is?
No.
Oh, come on. Teddy, what about you? Do you know what the McBitchin' is?
I don't know. You'll have to fill us in.
Oh, okay, bro. So this is what you do. You get a McDouble, all right?
Okay.
You get a hot and spicy, okay? You need to make sure to ask for mac sauce on the hot and spicy.
Okay.
Then you grab the McDouble, you split it, and you put the hot and spicy between it. And there you go, the McBitchin'.
Can the good people at McDonald's handle such an order?
You know what? One time I legit went through the drive-thru and I asked them for McBitchin and they gave me a McBitchin.
It's a known thing. I didn't even know that was a thing.
No, bro. I can't believe you haven't heard about it. No. If you're an avid McDonald's lover,
I was lying. Crazy. It was my third lie.
Oh, okay. Now you got to get slapped.
Oh, no. Oh. Puppy, no.
Ay. Ay, mama.
Mm.
Oh, that's funny. So, yeah. Great freaking observations, my friends. Okay. I think so. What's the overall answer here? What are we going with?
Probably 11. I think 11 is it's a.
Teddy, you cool with that?
I can agree to agree.
Okay.
And
11.
8. I personally think 8 is better, but I would argue that this difficulty to find a good way to play it is a problem. But Teddy says to rule it out, so I'll take that.
Teddy, how do you respond to this?
Change my answer. We're going 4.
Oh no!
Oh snap! Oh snap! Oh snap! Yeah,
it's got the hottest babes.
It does.
Oh damn! Okay.
And gamers like chicks.
That's true. Gamers do love chicks.
Dude, make a 3D one with Maya.
We're back to this.
I don't even care. Honestly, I don't even care about the other
Heroes, bro. She's in DQ Heroes,
and dude. I played that.
That's why you picked
it. She was on my team.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, you just make a 3D game with Maya. I don't even care about the other characters. You don't even have to have them in it. I'll try to solo it. Just that would be fantastic.
That would be fantastic. There you go. Love it. All right, so there it is, guys. Dragon Quest 2. Pick it up. It's the first game you should play in the series.
Absolutely.
It's universal. It's all what we all think. But yeah. Anyways. Okay. Is there any other comments on the subject, gentlemen?
Why don't you play SMT? Like, is there something wrong with you?
Well, hold on.
That's not the subject. You're going off subject.
Wow. Hold up. First of all, why does there have to be something wrong with me, bro?
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. What the hell is an SMT anyway? Smash Brothers?
Super Mario Tactics.
Oh, okay. See, that makes sense.
Which is actually, I did just play Super Mario Tactics. It was called Mario plus Rabbids.
Oh, that's a great game.
Yeah.
The second one? You played the second one?
Yeah, my girlfriend got it for me for Christmas. It was fantastic.
Oh, great. Yeah, I've only played the first one. I do kind of want to play the second one, though. But listen, to answer your question, Mr. Spencer, all right? Since you're putting me on blast, okay, bro? Listen, right now, I barely have time to even scratch my ass, bro. All right? So I've never played, to be honest, I've never played that game or that series just because I've never, it's never attracted me that much. I'll be honest. The art style is not my thing. I usually like more charming, monsters, and characters and stuff like that. Don't really like that graphics, style. I apologize if that offends people. If it did, comment down below. But right now, dude, listen, I got 2 kids, right? I got a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old. My wife works. I work. When I have a little bit of time, it's at night. And either I'm playing a little bit of something, like right now, Elden Ring, or a little bit of freaking Right now, I'm on Dragon Quest 4 on mobile. If I have time to play with my kids, either my 6-month-old is sleeping, I'll pull it out, play a little bit, while I play with my 3-year-old, blah, blah, blah. But basically, time is super limited at night. When I do have time, I'm always either recording or editing for the channels. So anyways, hopefully that answers your question.
Let me make a case for it. SMT is Dark Souls for Pokemon fans.
Ooh.
It actually is. That's a very good point.
And you are a Pokemon fan who is playing Elden Ring.
Well, I am a huge From Software fan. I'm a huge.
Okay.
Well, I used to be a huge Pokemon fan, but
Whoa.
Once a Pokemon fan,
on.
always a Pokemon fan.
Wait. Can we dissect this?
You don't like Scarlet and Violet?
Excuse me. What? You're not anymore? What happened?
what do you mean? Pokemans? Come on, bro. I mean, what even is that anymore?
Where'd you fall off? Who hurt you?
Okay, so I mean, I feel like this is universal. I mean, I'm lying because in my Discord there's one of the other two members, Illness and Hot Dog Hands. They love Pokemon, so
Like
no
counter
disrespect.
3-1.
Nobody likes them. Stay on. Stay on.
Gotcha.
We're 1-0.
So,
I'm live free.
I think I was actually watching your guys' Arceus episode today where you were talking about it, but and I think Spencer, you said something about falling off on 4,
Yeah.
or was it Spencer that said that?
Yeah.
It's all of us. It's the community.
Yeah. Well, for me personally, because Yellow was my first game, and then Gold and Silver. So my sister had a Game Boy Color. She got Gold or Silver, I forgot. She ended up She didn't play it anymore. I played both versions at once. Obviously, got a trade. Didn't have friends. And I played those games so much that I skipped Gen 3 in its entirety.
Dang.
And then I went into Gen 4, and I love Gen 4. But what started to turn me off of Gen 4 was this whole like the natures, thing about Pokemon, and I go to some dude and he tells me my Pokemon's just decent. What the hell are you talking about? This is my Pokemon. You're telling me it's decent? You're offending me right now.
Yeah.
So basically, I was like, you know what? Screw you and your freaking glasses. This damn character that was telling me that to my Pokemon, and just the whole Pokerus aspect as well, which was, it was fun if you got into it and stuff like that. But it just kind of felt like it. I don't know. I just kind of started to feel like this disconnect into the series. And then I actually really enjoyed 5. Gen 5 was really cool. I never got to play Black 2 or White 2. But then Gen 6 was pretty fun. I actually liked that jump to the 3D models and everything. But then Gen 7 happened. They didn't have gyms. The tutorial was too long. Just all the classic stuff, And it just kind of, again, my love just kind of started to go down again. Gen 8 was caca. If you know what that means, then you know what that means. Gen 9, Gen 9 is the first gen I will not buy. The only reason I'll buy the gen is if my oldest son, when he gets old enough to play a game, I'd love to play a game with him, but that's it. So anyways, what do you think about my answer, guys? Sorry about that.
What do you say to the people? I read your comments. What do you say to the people in the comments that call you a boomer because you can't handle Pokemon in the modern day?
I just tell them thank you, and have a good life.
Wow. I like.
But you're wrong.
Whoa! I like that. That's good.
So
no, I agree. I agree 100%.
But let's also talk about this. The starters after Gen
1,
3 or 4. There you go. They just start sucking so bad. I mean, bro.
What?
I don't know.
What is a Cyndaquil? Yeah. Can somebody tell me what a Cyndaquil is? I don't know what the hell that is. Go damn.
It's a fire mouse. It's a fire mouse. You didn't know that?
It looks like, I don't know what it is. It looks like an anteater crossed with like a edgelord backpack or something. I don't know what that is.
A backpack?
Yeah, it's got like fire, but it's
so you're a Gen 1er, bro, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I think I'm older than you.
Okay.
I'm 34.
Oh God, dude, you're way too old.
Yeah. So by the time I was playing Pokemon and stuff, I was already kind of too cool for it. And let's be honest, I've been too cool for it for all my life. I'm kind of surprised I even played it.
Damn,
but
bro.
like I was.
Well, thank you for gracing us with the time period that you did spend in Pokemon.
You're welcome. I
You
had
know.
my expertise where I can, but
He's a role playing guy.
Yeah,
The
legit.
role playing guy
the
archive.
role of nerd today.
Yeah. Roll a Cyndaquil.
hmm
Mouse backpack. Thing.
So wait, so did you guys end up liking Arceus then? Because
Yeah, was good.
Respect.
Yeah, it drops natures and stuff and like
Right.
abilities, so like that's appreciable.
Right.
Because I'm with you. I don't like the. There was a point where I was playing Pokemon competitively.
Oh wow.
I got so sick of it. It was just maybe it was because it was like aligning with Twitch stuff and like this kind of like popular like PokeTuber culture and I don't know. It wasn't a side of Pokemon I necessarily loved. I liked the idea of like raising a team and stuff and like, but it just became too much. Like, what am I spending my time doing? Like looking at the effort values and like, I just don't care.
Yeah. Having to hatch a million freaking Cyndaquils to get a good one. Yeah.
It's no life to lead.
No.
But
No,
you know
it's
what?
not.
You know what is a life to lead. Speaking of great segues, remember when we were talking about SMT? You should play that.
It's that good, huh?
It is.
It has a whole bunch of things that would make Pokemon a lot better.
Ooh.
It's
Okay.
rooted in real world mythology. So even if you don't like the designs, you can actually read the history of these like gods and goddesses across different cultures.
Gotcha. So listen, so how did this turn into an episode where you guys are trying to convert me into your religion?
Because
How doesn't it?
Atlas owns us.
What if you spoke
Oh.
to a non-Dragon Quest fan? Would you be like, "Oh yeah, respect"?
Okay, well now you're just making it personal.
Well, think about it. We're actually taking this.
That's the point, right?
we're taking this podcast full circle, right?
Yeah.
Because the podcast was how do you get a non-Dragon Quest fan to like Dragon Quest? Now we're
Right.
saying how do you get a non-SMT fan to like SMT?
How do you
There
get a
you go.
Dragon Quest fan who doesn't like SM or doesn't know SMT to get to know SMT? What if SMT is the fourth wife option in Dragon Quest V?
Damn.
And spoiler
Damn.
alert, it is.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm playing. Well, no, just kidding. Anyways. Yeah, I'll have to replay 5 because, yeah.
Yeah.
You probably missed it. Yeah.
Secret ending.
Okay. So let me ask you this, since we're on the topic, what's the best starting point for SMT?
I don't know.
That's the whole episode in its own, bro.
Probably Persona 5. But technically it's not even called SMT anymore, but it is.
Okay, hold on. I'm coming in blind. So
Okay.
SMT is also Persona. I know on the stream a couple last week or whatever it was, the guy who was playing with illness was explaining that Persona was like, I don't know. Please explain.
Persona started as SMT. I believe it remained SMT until it may have been Persona 4 on PS2, but it may have actually been Persona 3. But eventually, Persona actually got more popular than SMT, so they just dropped the moniker entirely. But the basic concept of combat and Demon Fusion is the exact same. They're still the same. It just doesn't have the SMT moniker anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically the same thing.
Absolutely.
Oh, what the hell?
Hey.
Yo.
Whoops.
Dude, you left these in the room. I don't know. Like,
What?
That is steady, bro.
You messed up my. Sorry.
did you want these?
No, I. Teddy. Save them for later, dude.
Okay, can you keep your underwear in your room?
Yeah, I will try.
Okay.
Sorry,
Thank you.
I'm a goofy guy.
Guys, this is a family.
I'm a goofy
channel.
Gus. I'm a goofy Gus. I apologize. Just leave it lying around.
Okay, so you guys live together. That's what's up.
No, he's from New York. He's visiting me.
Sorry, guys. It's just the room is a little messy.
Yeah. I live in Arizona. He came by to visit.
Can you somehow do that? Are you gonna show up in my room or what? How do you do that? How did you do that?
Hold on.
Oh, this is gonna be a weird one. Have 911 at the ready.
You got 10 hours?
Yeah, sure. That's funny.
But no, I do think that Persona 5 is probably the best way. But I will say, SMT 5 may not have the greatest story, but just for freaking playing it, it's smooth as silk.
So wait, Persona 5 is SMT5? Sorry.
No. Okay, let me jump in here. So in the Super Nintendo era in Japan, one of the juggernauts of the RPG series was Megami Tensei, which was what it was originally called, Shin Megami Tensei. On the PlayStation, they took it in a little bit of a different direction, but kept the Megami Tensei moniker for Persona. So there was at the time, Megami Tensei 1 and 2, I believe on the Super Famicom, and then Persona 1 and Persona 2 on the PlayStation 1. But they were called Shin Megami Tensei. Those are more of a high school setting. They have kind of a more dungeon crawly feel, I think.
Okay.
But we never got the Megami Tensei games, but we did get Persona 1 and 2. I think people liked them. So then eventually on the PS2, we got Persona 3 and Persona 4. Persona 4 was a lot of the cultural phenomenon here in the States. And we also got Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, which was considered the just hellish, really difficult RPG, which honestly isn't that bad once you get the systems down. It had a crossover with Dante from Devil May Cry. Ooh. And so he was a playable character. You could recruit him to your team at some point if you go through the layers of hell. And later on the 3DS, we got Shin Megami Tensei 4. It was the first Megami Tensei game in 10 years. So it was a big deal. I think Nocturne was also, that was our first stateside one. We also got spin-offs on the PS2. But that one was very well received. It's one of the top tier 3DS RPGs. We got Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, which was technically a sequel to SMT4. It's kind of the real SMT5. But yeah, so stop me when I lose you.
So basically,
keep going.
SMT, consider SMT as the main series. SMT is the mother series. Persona actually became more popular and broke off. But
I've heard that before.
But SMT is Persona stripped, where you strip out all the relationship stuff and all the life sim stuff. It's none of it. It's just an RPG. Whereas Persona gives you you're a high schooler and you go to high school and you talk to people and you build relationships.
Within the first hour of SMT4, you're fighting a goddamn Minotaur.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. But you're still saying that the best entry point is Persona 5.
I think to most people it is.
Okay.
If you want a more if you want a more hardcore JRPG, if that's your alley, I would probably do SMT5. And if you really like it, you can explore 3 and 4, which have better stories. But SMT5 is very slick. Its gameplay is really on point. So I think it's a great place to start if you're new to the series.
Well, I definitely considered, starting it, but it comes down to the same problem. Very long game. Very long game. It's not that long?
Probably 50 hours.
Persona 5?
No, Persona 5 is very
SMT5.
long.
I think Spencer's pushing to SMT5 right now.
Oh, okay.
Which honestly, I think you'd like it. It's a lot if you like exploration. I know you can save on the map anyway. It's pretty accessible in most regards.
Where is one able to play SMT5
Switch,
if they
baby.
wanted to?
Just Switch. And maybe Steam. I think Steam as well.
I don't know if it's been released there yet. I don't remember. I have to check.
Yeah, it's just I think. I'm not positive.
Well, Switch is perfect because that's literally the best way I can game. So
yeah,
good to know.
But that'll open you up to a new world.
It did.
Yeah, it's.
I was about to start singing Aladdin.
But you're doing.
You should.
I won't be able to pull you away from Elden Ring. That game is freaking amazing. So.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. It's a good time. I freaking love that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go.
What's your build?
Oh, I'm doing Dex and intelligence. Moonvale. I know it's boring, but doing Moonvale. I don't care.
Okay, you guys got to recommend me a Dark Souls game to start.
Elden Ring.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yep.
Elden Ring.
There we go.
Elden Ring is like Zelda for adults. It's like it's literally like strips away all the dumb crap of them being like, you got to get me 10 seeds or help this girl, like all the mini stuff in between the dungeons, and it's just the dungeons, and they're like bleed your eyes out hard.
Yeah, Elden Ring is kind of like the Dragon Quest 11 of Dragon Quest, I would say. It's like the most accessible in terms of like, it's like it's got the best graphics. Talking about Dragon Quest 11, it's got Elden Ring, basically, it's got like the most options for combat. It's like got a little bit of things that like kind of help the experience be a little bit more like chewable or digestible for a newcomer. Although it is still very difficult if you're not used to those kind of games, for sure. But it's definitely the best like for newcomer, sort of players.
Well, because one of the good things is it's not a bang your head against the wall difficulty. Because the other ones all the other ones essentially are like a straight line. I mean, they have interlocking paths, but in general, if you're at a boss, that's the boss you're supposed to be at, and you can't really do anything until you beat him. Elden Ring, if you can't beat a boss,
you can run away.
Just leave and go do whatever you want for like 10 hours, however long you want to do it.
Get your ox horse thing and leave.
Yeah. So it's
Or like Dark Souls 1, for example, like it's just way slower, I mean, it's a great game. I love it still, but and it's just more difficult Okay. We basically answered it.
Now, we said it's the most accessible. What's the best Souls game though?
Well, I haven't beat Elden Ring, so I can't put that on the list, but personally, Bloodborne.
I would say that too. I have not played a lot of Souls games.
Bloodborne. Oh, really? Which ones have you played and which ones have you not played?
One, I played a little bit of 3, but I was not ready for it, and my friends thought it would be best if they just played along with me, and it was not. It was terrible. So I played that, and then obviously Elden Ring, and then Bloodborne, and a little bit of Code Vein, just thinking maybe I'll like it, and I hated that. But Bloodborne is the best, I think. It's either Bloodborne or Elden Ring, but they're both. Bloodborne has such a great atmosphere. It's kind of hard to.
Oh, it's so good. It's so damn good. I love that game. The mechanics are incredible, especially if you you master them. It just becomes so satisfying. The combat is so fluid and quick.
Mm-hmm. It's aggressive.
It's just such a good game. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It's probably, in terms of like you as a player feeling like badass, it's probably the best in the series. I mean, when you get a crit, especially, or when you stun an enemy and then you just mess them up, it's so satisfying. But yeah,
I agree.
So yeah, good stuff. So here you go, Teddy. Play Bloodborne. Bloodborne.
I tried. No. I couldn't get past that first whatever.
Play Elden Ring. Don't play.
Oh, right. Play Elden Ring first, then play Bloodborne.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, once you understand it a little better.
I'll play Elder Scrolls.
When I first played Bloodborne, I had a very hard time with it. It just did not click to me. And then I played Elden Ring, and all those games just suddenly made sense. And then I went back and just enjoyed them a lot more.
Well, I do love Oblivion.
Oblivion's
so I think I'm good.
Pretty good.
There you go. There you go.
All right, Pop, you can ask us what games we've been playing?
Yes, thank you. Well, I mean, we basically just kind of started talking about it, but the main segment was what you guys should, play if if you want to get into the Dragon Quest series. We've even got a little bit of extra info if you want to get into SMT. Thank you guys for those recommendations. But let's move on to the next segment. Basically, what we're playing / watching / doing. My podcast at this moment is kind of a weekly one, so I can start just so you guys kind of get an idea of how I handle this section. I do know from watching some of the other videos that Spencer hates anime, so that sucks.
Hate
But
it.
basically,
Can I say a controversial opinion?
What's up?
I think anime is for pedophiles.
Guess I'm a pedophile.
I had a friend. He would show me pictures of like anime girls, and obviously they're like exaggerated and whatever.
Of course.
And he would show me one, and she was in high school. She was in a high school class.
Mm.
And I said, "This girl's what, 13 years old or something?" And he said, "No, she's 5,000."
Oh yes, the classic. Yeah. Okay.
I was like, no. No judge. No judge is going to accept that answer. You cannot say that.
Yeah, I have no way to defend myself from that one. Teddy, you got anything you want to say to that?
When I watched anime, I was a teenager. No, the ones I watch now are not offensive to the same extent he's saying. Like,
Okay.
I watch some One Piece. I watch the original Dragon Ball.
There you go.
And in those moments, like, yeah, they have like the weird Master Roshi segments, but like there's a comedy to it.
Right.
It's funny.
Right.
They're well written. I think a lot of like there's definitely a market for like those pervy animes that that's not me. I'm not the market, but you can see that market exists.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think for me, my disconnect, it's hard to say because it really just depends on my taste in like what I'm watching. I like watching the trashy reality marriage shows.
Oh no. Like The Bachelor?
Yeah. No. Like
God.
90 Day Fiance or like
Oh, interesting.
or I like Survivor. Like I like even if I know it's not like there's elements of like it's not entirely
so
realistic.
You got the white girl syndrome.
The what?
How so?
The white girl syndrome, bro. White girls are all about those shows, bro. All about those
I'm
shows.
about them too.
Okay.
And
you're here with a couple white girls.
I'm a Mexican girl. Okay.
My girlfriend's black, and we watch it together.
Okay. Well,
so
she can still have the white girl syndrome, bro. It doesn't matter. It's not like a race specific thing. So.
Well, it is.
My girl
because it's for white girls.
But it's a syndrome. It can be caught by other people.
Yeah, it's like a disease. It's like
it's still a race thing.
The white,
because it's being passed on by the white girls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So race is a factor.
I mean, it's a little bit of a fact. Sure. Let's go with that. But basically, okay. So you guys like those shows. That's fine. No judgment here. No judgment here. But I guess the equivalent to that. Wait, so you said you're Mexican, Spencer?
Yes, I'm Hispanic.
So are you into novelas at all?
No. I used to be when I had like regular television and I could just like pretend what they were saying and just look at them because they're very attractive.
Right.
But no, nowadays, no.
See, that's like the classic Hispanic thing. Everyone watches novelas. Even the guys, they say they don't, but they're in the back watching and asking the wife about questions or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so.
Are you Hispanic?
Yes.
I could kind of tell. Although you look a little, it's a little weird. I guess the beard maybe.
Yeah. I'm from Uruguay.
Oh.
I was born in New York, but my parents are from Uruguay, little country in South America. My first language is Spanish. Eventually learned English.
Nice.
So fun stuff.
My dad is white. My mom is from Mexico.
Cool.
one of the caves. I don't know exactly where.
One of the caves in Mexico.
In
There you
Mexico.
go.
Yeah.
You got the resident white man here.
Respect. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm white too. I'm just Latino as well. That's it.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
fun stuff. Okay. So you like 90 Day Survivor. What else were you saying, Teddy?
I guess going back to anime. How do we get on anime? I don't know.
He said, Poppy said that I don't like anime. He
Right,
started out with that.
And then
I was
you
calling him
said
out.
that it's for pedophiles.
Yes.
Right.
said
And I was tasked with responding to that.
Yeah, you had to respond to
Very
that.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, because I
Why
have
do I have to answer
I
to
have
this,
no way
Poppy?
to defend. I have no way to defend. I yield.
Oh, I see.
I
You're
yield.
you're calling me in.
Yeah,
Okay.
He tagged
Yeah,
you.
I see what you're doing.
Lifeline.
Right. Okay, cool. Well, Spencer, these shows are about more than just girls in bikinis, okay? And scantily clad towel scenes. They're about the desperation of the young male
Yes, they are.
and really seeing, how oppressive life can be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very oppressive.
And when temptation is in front of the lonely, isolated, oppressed young male, how can he find his women?
On Crunchyroll.
Where the anime exists.
Where the anime exists, you will find them.
Yes. So that's your and young men today can relate to this.
Yes.
Yeah. What do they call them? Incels?
Incels.
I believe so.
Involuntarily celebrated, I think is what it's short for.
I thought they were in prison.
Yes.
Oh no.
They're all in prison. I suggest you round them up and take them to the penitentiary. All of the incels.
Damn.
Where they already are.
Most of them, yes.
Oh,
I failed.
God.
I had to go for a while, but then
Hey, you know what? I think you did great. So, but to answer in my perspective, anime wise, I also watch One Piece. I'm not caught up with it. I'm like 20 episodes behind from where it's at right now. Again, time factor. And then we are watching Spy Family with my family every now and then. It's the first anime I successfully was able to convert my wife into watching. So I'm pretty proud about that. She likes it. It's great. We haven't watched a new episode in a while, but again, we're a little behind on that as well. But basically this week, the only thing I've really watched is One Piece, anime-wise. So there we go.
What about games? Just Elden Ring?
What about games? Here we go. Dragon Quest 4, Elden Ring.
Right.
Dragon Quest Heroes 2, as you guys know.
Yes.
And I think that's it.
Respectable.
Yeah.
Respect.
What am I watching? I'm watching some kind of 90 Day Fiancé, but mostly hentai. But what I'm playing is Phantasy Star.
So you're a pedophile too, huh?
I'm playing I couldn't hear you. I'm playing Phantasy Star. And I'm playing a game called Beyond Oasis. Are you familiar with it?
No, I'm not.
Okay. We're doing an archive of it, and it should be up shortly. That's a spoiler alert. I don't know when you're releasing this, but we
will be
literally
released next Thursday.
Okay,
so
it'll be up before then, so it's not really a spoiler alert. So you don't really get that. I apologize. This is awkward. But I always play League of Legends. I'm an addict on League of Legends.
So
I'll always play that.
Respect.
Yeah. That might be. It's kind of been a busy week, so probably that's it. Although I'm about to play the new The Forest, whatever the new was. I think it's called Children of the Forest. Also would be a great anime title, but this is actually just a survival horror game. So.
Bail me out.
I got nothing, bro.
Your turn,
I got
Teddy.
nothing.
I have to follow that up. That's the segue. Children of the Forest hentai.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Ay, ay,
I am also watching some kind of 90-Day Fiance.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Big Ed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest.
It sounds like this is like a really good, like, to watch with your significant other show.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. You know why? Because you get to just look at people like flub relationships and then just like, you analyze what went wrong with them. I don't know. And like
It's
predict if it's going to work. Yeah. I think it's good to talk about like, like just how like the man or woman like behave and like what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing. And they're also like being televised. So like there's an element to that.
Right.
Like any of those relationship shows, not any, because I don't like The Bachelor. I think it's kind of like that's very superficial for me. I like the real like relationship stuff. Like we watch Love Is Blind. I like watching The Circle. Another game show where you like can play as a catfish or yourself, but the only interaction is through the screen, and the most like voted player wins like $100,000 or something.
Damn, that sounds cool.
Yeah. A couple New Yorkers represented on there, so another cool aspect. We played Beyond Oasis, so no spoiler there. Spencer's lie counts at 4. And as far as other games that I'm playing, we're doing eShop month next month for the button mappers, where we're gonna do a game talk on a 3DS game that's on the eShop because the eShop is closing next month. So we're going to do a couple of recommendations, things you should get before the shop goes down, and we're going to do a map out of a standout game. For more, check out the Button Mappers.
There you go.
Hey, the Button Mappers.
The Button Mappers. The Button Mappers. Very good. Love it. Cool. Yeah. So is that all for gaming for you, Mr. Teddy?
I think so. I read a book on the plane because I'm on vacation right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm just, dicking around out here.
Are you in the West Coast or what? Where are you at?
This weird place, Arizona. I don't.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's different. There's sand and stuff. Like, somebody told me to eat a rattlesnake. I said no, and they insisted.
Damn. So I live in Utah, and we got a huge, crazy snowstorm today. Like, insane.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, but it doesn't snow that much there, I'm assuming, in Arizona.
There
will be snow on Friday.
Yeah.
Oh.
But in northern Arizona, that's where all the mountains are.
Respect.
I think I've seen snow here like twice in my life, and it usually died before it touched the ground. So
yeah.
There you go.
I do have a lot of respect for mountains.
They're nice. They're nice to look at. But yeah. Cool. Well, I think that sounds about it in terms of what we're watching, playing, doing, sort of thing. Anime, video games wise. Oh, sorry. What book are you reading, Mr. Teddy? You did mention
it's called Retro. The concept is this girl in high school. Her best friend hands her the shopping bag that she was stealing items from the mall for, and then she takes the hit for the friend. Although she doesn't want to, she wants her to stand up for her, but she doesn't. And then the mom bails her out, but says, "You owe me the $3,000." And the girl's so pissed, she posts a video that she was holding on to of the other girl, and to like some social media app, and the whole school basically sees it and torments her the next day to the point where she's so bad she has to go to a psychiatric ward. And so the girl feels terrible about it and reaches out to the social media company Limbo, and they basically come to the school and try and start an anti-cyberbullying campaign through a retro challenge where you don't use your phone or any modern technology after Y2K. And whoever can win it gets a full ride to college. And it becomes like kind of this class conflict between like kids who are willing to give up their devices versus kids who are not.
Sounds like you're pretty far into the book.
Yeah, that's just the basic synopsis. I did read like a good 250 pages or so in. It becomes kind of mystery suspense. I think it's good. I think the general foundation is good, although it does kind of tap into some of like the tick boxes, you know, of like, oh, let's get this identity represented. So
Classic,
I sometimes
2022,
go like
2023 situation.
Yeah, I sometimes go like how authentic is this?
Right. Yeah, I feel like this is a topic all on its own, but I feel like that's basically all TV shows today, just checking off boxes and instead of focusing on a good story. But anyway, that's a subject for another day. But yeah, well, guys, I sincerely appreciate you guys, coming onto my show and onto this episode.
Oh, we're big fans.
Oh, wow. Really? Cool. Thank you. Please, so we got RPG Archive, right? I mean, I'll let you guys do the plugs. Go ahead. Plug everything you want.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, I'm RPG Archive. I do the RPGs sometimes.
Yeah.
And then Teddy?
I am Majora T. And I just do whatever I want, man.
And then we're together on the Button Mappers along with our friend Alex. And
Who is that?
Turbo. And we do also whatever we
want. He loves Digimon. I know that.
Yes, I think he actually does. I played a Digimon
and
game
Goku.
And Goku.
If you talk to him about Dragon Quest, he'll talk to you about the time that Goku fought Frieza.
Yes.
Classic. I like this guy already.
Trash.
Perfect.
And of course, to the listeners, what are you doing? If you haven't subscribed to Dragon Quest Poppy, this man put on quite the show for us today. Give it up.
Yeah, what are you, an idiot? If you haven't subscribed to Dragon Quest Poppy, there's something wrong with your life. And I bet you if you saw a psychiatrist, he would tell you to take like 50 pills to get your life back on order. That's what he told me.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like you just read that. It looks like you read that too, but I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Yeah, like they said, like and subscribe. That's basically it for today's episode. So, yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.